Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll start. I have no problem. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
Good
Good
evening,
evening,
sir.
sir.
Yeah, good
Good
evening.
evening.
Right. Today we are going to discuss another area which is very, I think, not familiar. Many people are not aware. Even the document is available on the finance ministry website. I think some are aware, some don't know. Actually, this document we have prepared in 2007 as a trial edition, right? But still you can make use of that document for your non-consulting services, because non-consultancy services are quite different from the goods or works. You are familiar goods and works. We have already discussed goods. Works we will discuss later. Because the difference of non-consultancy is, for example, catering service, security service, right? Not like purchasing a computer or not like construction of a building. Construction of a building, we have some specifications, drawings and plans, etc., etc. And goods also we have specifications, standards, etc., etc. But how can we give specification for meals, food? Can anybody tell me how to ensure the quality of food we expect from suppliers or service providers? Anybody, please tell me. How to ensure the quality? No idea?
Quality certification?
Who will give the quality certification? Supposing you uh, give a contract to a canteen person to run the office canteen, right? This is considered as a non-consultancy contract, right? So you specify for the breakfast and lunch and etc. You must give this say 3 vegetables, 1 fish or beef or whatever, egg or whatever, and you must provide this is the price range, something like that. No, normally the government canteens we specify the price. They can't charge like open market. But how to ensure the quality of food?
The
And
weight,
they are,
sir?
yeah,
Weight?
yeah,
Weight?
sorry.
The weight of the egg, the weight of the but
Yeah, that is one way. Yeah, the rice weightage and the size or whatever, and that is one something, and the quantity of rice to a plate or something, that is okay. But how about the taste and hygienic things and various things are there, no? Special taste, very difficult. So if you buy a packet of meal from a five-star hotel, it is a meal. You can buy from a normal boutique or restaurant, it's different. If you buy from a office canteen, different. If you buy from road, those who are selling, vendors selling packets, different. Still food. Therefore, when we procure non-consultant service, so we'll have to consider various aspects which are not common to goods and works, right? So take a security service as well. and we have security people. No, okay, forget about that. Consider the janitorial service. That is a very familiar non-consultant service, no? You have to hire service providers to clean your office, toilets, etc., etc. So those who are working in government organization or private organization, those who recruit people, tell me how, before you award the contract, how you supervise their performance? How you supervise? Tell me, please. I mean, you have to interact with me today.
According to their experience.
Experience is one thing, yes. You'll have to consider their experience. Yes, that's one aspect. What else?
Using a pre-evaluation criteria.
Using what?
Pre-evaluation criteria.
What is pre-evaluation criteria means? We want to contract out to a service provider to your cleaning service. What are the factors or criterion we should take into account, right? Because not only the lowest cost is a matter, the quality is important. As I said, the food example, different quality. 5-star hotel is still rice and curry, but their price may be 5,000 rupees, right? In a restaurant, maybe 1,000 rupees, I don't know. On a small boutique, maybe 300. What is the jargon? What is the criteria we consider providing food, for example? And one person said the editorial service experience is a matter. Yes. What else?
Cleaning material.
Exactly. Cleaning material. We must specify these are the detergents or whatever the materials you must use, things like that. That is one thing. What else? Please come with your ideas. I think I know you have ideas, you have experience, because this is not straightforward document.
Laborers.
Yeah,
Which category? Age.
yeah,
Labor.
age category also in case of security, right? And cleaning also, yes. Because if you put very old people, they can't something, yes. That is
Yes.
matter. Security
Ingredients
especially,
they are using.
yeah, ingredient we discuss ingredients, detergents and things like that. Specify the different detergents we must use. What else? I mean,
Capacity and technical components that organization use.
yes, capacity and their equipment capacity, especially, what kind of equipment they have to clean. There are various equipment, no? So you must specify equipment and their capacity. Yes. What else?
Sir, their financial credibility and soundness.
Their financial, exactly. Their financial credibility, financial capacity, etc., etc. Yes. What else? Their manpower, no? Their management and other people. There are various aspects we have to consider, because think at the very beginning, in case of non-consultant services, quality has a very important aspect. So therefore, you'll have to find some different way to evaluate and award contracts, right? Now, look at some information about this introduction and definitions. Means services other than consultancy services. Because that is also service, no consultancy service. Because consultancy service, we have a separate guideline, manual, methods, etc., etc. So don't mix up. Some people say works, goods, and services. That is a wrong word. Don't use that. If you say services, We don't know whether consultant service you are talking or non-consultant services. And I must tell you, we gazetted our guideline on 25th, right? Did you see that? Our
Yes, sir.
guidelines?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you
Yes,
get a
sir.
copy. Yeah, you get a copy. Probably you will be given a question. I'm telling you at the very beginning, you will be given a question in the principles of procurement paper, examination paper. You can note down what are the salient features of the Government Procurement Guidelines 2024 compared with the 2006, or some other way the words I can change, but when I draft write the question paper, what are the special features, whatever the word, I don't think of that. You must not repeat the same thing you have learned in the 2006 guideline. I think I gave some salient points also in my presentation. But now you have a new guideline, at least guideline. The manual we will upload as a draft maybe very shortly, because it is a work in draft still. Some, because we need to translate Sinhala and Tamil and things like that. But it won't be a problem. But by the time of examination, definitely the manual is also available. So please check what are the new features, new changes we have made in the guideline. Okay, right. Now turn back to our discussion. A consultant service and non-consultant service you must always think of, and you can write our guideline is also works goods and non-consultant services, not services, right? A contract for pecuniary interest concluded in writing between a service provider and the contracting one. That is normal thing. We have a contract, sorry. We have a contract between the supplier, service provider, and the government. A service is work which is not part of an organization's core business. Yeah, so that's why we need outside people to provide. It is not a part of organization core business, its main function, but which need to be provided in order to carry out that business some way, right? Like janitorial service. Sometimes earlier, it is not the case. We hired sanitary laborers. Can you remember those work in the previous early departments, ministries? We hired sanitary laborers and they clean toilets and all. Nowadays, we have contracted out and we hired service providers to do that. Whatever it is, anyway, it is not the general function of the business. Right. What are the examples we can give? Transport service. That is also interesting since we don't have much vehicles fleet and no way to purchase new vehicles, and government organization can hire transport service. But at the moment, the Treasury Budget Department is also having a service. In that case, there is no way you can have a contract. You directly tell what the vehicle you want, then they will provide that. That is a different issue. But many organizations, they published advertisement and get vehicles for their transport service, right? In transportation also, there are many things you must consider. You are not purchasing the vehicle, right? You are getting vehicles for your transport service. I mean, we'll discuss because those are very, very common non-consultant services we have to use. Tell me, what are the aspects when you advertise or when we use transportation service? What are the things we generally look for? No idea? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes? Any
This is
idea?
like this Uber pickup service. This
No, you can't. That is not the problem. That is a different thing. This transport service. Transport service is something different. You hire private vehicles and with the drivers or without drivers, and you use in the public transportation, public work. Normally without drivers, no? Right? That not the Uber. It is a direct, no? Uber is direct. Directly you hire Uber and you pay. That is not the non-consultant service. That is not the thing
here, sir. In we are working in Qatar.
Yeah.
Normally, you know, here we have Toyota main office. Actually, they are giving some services to the government department, airport, something like
Okay.
that to drop and pick up their staff and this kind of thing.
Right. But
So
how
they are
you
making an agreement.
Yes, that's what I'm talking. How you come to an agreement with Toyota or whoever, but whichever the company or some private parties also, companies as well as private people. What are the things you are looking for when you hire a service provider for transportation service, like catering and security, janitorial? We discussed some points. So what are the things you must? Because you understand, non-consultant service is different from goods and works. So you are not purchasing vehicles, you are not constructing buildings. You are hiring private people's vehicle for your transportation service. So then you should know what aspect you must consider, what evaluation criteria and various points you must take into consideration. Tell me, discuss with me.
Seat capacity.
Yeah,
So, so we should ask
sorry,
for,
sorry.
sir, we should ask for new vehicles,
Yeah.
not branded ones.
Yeah, we can specify. Normally, we
We
don't
should
ask for
also
new vehicles. Huh? I don't think
we
it's
should also ask for the emission reduced vehicle in embedding sustainability principles.
yeah, those are minor matters, but that's okay. But what are the major points?
Seat
Seat
capacity,
capacity.
non-AC,
Seating
AC
capacity, if it is a vehicle, a big bus or something, seating capacity, 5-seater or 3, 4, whatever. Yeah, that is one point. What
AC
else?
facility,
AC facility, very good.
Vehicle condition, fuel
Vehicle,
fuel
fuel
consumption,
consumption, very good. Fuel
fuel
consumption.
consumption.
Yeah.
Whether
manufacturing
the vehicle
year,
has,
Sorry.
manufacturing
sir,
year,
Oh, manufacturing year, yeah, because we don't want to get a very old. We say some year. We say, uh, say 20 years or whatever. I don't know. That's based on
Maintaining cost,
what cost?
maintaining service cost.
Maintenance. Yeah, maintenance is a condition to the supplier, service provider. They have to maintain the vehicle. Other than
If it is a
fuel.
car, sedan,
Yeah, sedan or normal car. Yeah. What else?
Sir, kilometer per month to be used per.
Yes, yes, that is a very important point. So we say the vehicle should run at least 2,500 or 3,000 kilometers per month or something like that, right?
And
sir,
Because
we should
then
also
his price should be based on 3,000 kilometers, something like that. What else?
sir, we should also ensure
Vehicle.
that the transport documents and registrations are in tune
Yeah,
with
yeah, the
transport rules.
document. Yes, yes, documentation. Yes, what else?
Regular service related.
Yes, regular service. I mean the normal service. No, what call this? Again, service in Tamil. Yes, service.
then
That is,
replacement,
uh,
the breakdown time or service time, the replacement of type of.
exactly. That is a very good point. If the vehicle is breakdown, then the supplier should provide a vehicle to replace that. Right? That is a very good condition and very good point. What else? And various other things, insurance policy and revenue and all things are subject to emission test or whatever is up to the supply. Okay, now you know something related to transport, I mean the non-consultant services, which you are not looking for goods or works, no? Normally we discuss so far the goods, works we didn't discuss anyway. Those are similar, no? We know. But here different aspect we look for. Cleaning and forwarding, clearing and forwarding, you know, the custom clearing, and it's also service. You can hire a service provider for that. If you have a frequent goods clearing from customs, they can hire a service provider. Insurance services. Yes, the office, they give insurance coverage for their employees. Then they have to select a insurance company, and many different aspects they must look for. Inspection services, right? If you want to inspect. Sorry. Anything you want to tell? Okay. Printing services. Vehicle and equipment repairs. Say vehicle repairs, right? Service provider, no? Right. Significant factors which differentiate service contract from other type of contract. Special nature of service contract. One, defining the requirement can be more complex, less easy, not more complex, less easy to measure delivery against the service contract. So it is quite complex, I say, yes. So we say quality and various things, not straightforward, not easy to measure the delivery, how we ensure the canteen person deliver the quality food, and how the janitorial service provider provide the quality janitorial service, how the security firm provides the quality security service. You know that many security firms, they hire very old people and pay very low salaries and keep them many hours continuously, and there is no security at all. They just come and open the gate and something like that. I don't know. That is my experience. So that means something wrong with the service contract you have entered with the service provider. And
So,
there, yeah.
Sir, excuse.
Yes.
That the cleaning and security service, there is a per day, the labor department, they put the per day labor charges, no?
Yes, yes. That is a minimum wage salary, minimum wage.
Yeah, that should be considered by the P, the procurement entity.
There are two arguments. Number one, that if you look at the bidding document, it says bidder should comply with all the law of the land, right? All the laws of the land.
Yes.
He must provide the goods or works or service by complying all the existing rules and laws of the country. That is a general clause in the general condition of contract, including minimum wage and things like that.
Yes.
That is none of the business of the entity to look into, right? That is the none of the business you should look into, because there are different departments to look after that. Say you hire a service, say security service firm, and you sign a contract. It is their duty to pay the minimum wage, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay, but
Okay, sir.
some organization put a special condition like this. The service provider should pay the minimum wage specified by the government in terms of the labor law, whatever. And if the minimum wage is not given, the bid will be rejected or something. if you have
Yeah.
put that condition, definitely you have to consider whether their price include the minimum wage. If the minimum wage is not covered, you have to reject. I don't, as a procurement expert, I don't think that is a direct business of the entity. What is your view?
Yes, sir. Actually, that's correct. But some entities they are putting these condition to evaluation.
Yeah, and that's why I said some is organization they put their condition. If they have put that condition, then they have to follow. Bidders should follow.
Yes, sir. Then some bidders also threatening to the PE for giving the lowest. That's mean lowest from the
Price without considering the minimum wage. No,
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, the thing is, okay, we put that condition and gave the contract to a service security firm. How can you ensure that they are paying the minimum wage?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
We can't ensure.
Is that your job?
Yeah, that is not our job. Yeah, actually
That is
correct.
not your
Yeah.
job to search whether how much they pay. I don't think that is none of our business. It's our business. It still is an argument. There's a gray area still. But we also took up some issues raised by organization appeals at the commission meeting. That's what I explained to our commission members and our officials. We gave our answers accordingly. But if explicitly they have mentioned the minimum wage rule is criteria for evaluation, that is the point.
Yeah,
If they have put,
if they mention
they
that
have-
should be considered.
it should be, yeah. If they have put evaluation criteria, minimum wage is a criteria for evaluation or something, that thing then we have to consider, right? We cannot award the contract below the minimum wage considering their price. But still, I have a doubt whether we should follow that way. Okay, there are many other rules, no? Then many
Yes,
other
sir.
rules. For example, office and shop ordinance, they say you cannot continuously employ a person more than 12 hours or whatever. There are limits, no? No. Now, how can we monitor that? Whether they deploy people more than 12 hours, or is that our job?
Yes, sir.
That is none of our business. That is why the labor department is there and other organizations are there. They have to come and check. And if they have not done properly, then they should take legal action against these companies. I mean, we should not mix up their job and our job, because our job is to award the contract to the lowest evaluated substantial responsive bidder, considering various factors we have disclosed in the bidding document. Clear?
Oh, sir, it's very clear. Thank you.
Okay. The contract may extend over a longer period, no, sometimes more than 1 year. Generally involves closer, and I am telling you again, another point you can make use of in your future contract, since the new guideline has issued. Can you remember I told you about the framework agreement? Framework agreement is there in our new guideline. Earlier, we didn't use that agreement. Different types of agreement, lump sum, rate contract, and for various contract types we discussed, and framework agreement. What does it mean?
Sir, framework agreement is exact like rate contracts in the procurement of goods?
No. Framework agreement is not that. I think you have forgot my earlier slides we discussed. I think maybe in the guideline, new guideline features. You can go back. But anybody can tell me what do you mean by framework agreement, which we have included in new? Yeah.
We can sign for more than 1 year, or we can get multiple contractors.
Exactly. We can normally we sign a contract within a financial year, no? Only 1 year, and we only one contract. But framework agreement is different. We can sign 2-year or even 3-year period with the supplier or contractor or service provider, and with or without price fluctuation formula, whatever. I mean, we can't get the same price after 3 years, as that is up to the price formula And also, as he said correctly, not only one contractor, maybe multiple contractor, 2-3 contractors. We can sign, but we are not officially obligated to provide or purchase the thing as we have agreed, right? There are some clauses to protect the government entities, right? So when you look at the guideline, you will see what are the provisions, especially if you refer the manual, you will get more information. So annually, every year we are coming or signing service agreement with janitorial and with, it is a very cumbersome job.
Sir, excuse me.
Yes.
If the framework agreement comes into the new guideline,
yes,
let's say in past how the construction of the highway and the Mattala airport without limiting into the 1-year agreements?
Those are not 1-year agreement in the first instance. Those are not 1 year. That is until the completion. We are working with the contractor now. Even highway.
That means the one by one they have to sign the agreement in past.
Yes. So say highway, you said highway until they complete maybe 3-year period or 5-year period. All right. But it is not a framework agreement. Delivery period is 5 years. Okay. Completion period is 3 years. Right? We say delivery period is 1 month. For example, if you want to purchase computers, we give after issuing the purchase order, suppliers should provide goods within 30 days. That is the delivery period. But framework agreement is not that. You identify contractors, suppliers, and to provide your computer equipment for 3-year period, for example. And as and when you need computers and the contract is there, then you send the order or whatever, then they will provide computers. Price may be different as agreed upon with 2 parties. That means, say you enter into the agreement in 2024 and they will provide computers 25 and 26 also. Not only one contractors, as he said correctly, multiple contractors, 2 contractors, so 3 contractors. Clear?
Very clear, sir. Very clear.
Yeah, please go through, especially the manual. You get more information about the framework agreement. A couple of pages are there. And please read up when it is officially issued or uploaded. For the time being, it is there in the guideline also. It's a very useful contract.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
When we talking about the framework agreement, do we need to mention it in the bidding document? We want to go for the 2-3 years, so shall we
Exactly.
Yes.
In the condition of contract, we specify the contract agreement. No? We give the form of contract. In such a situation, you must provide the framework agreement format.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So that is the thing. Right. Because that will be very useful in case of service also, right? Yeah. Another point. We had a meeting. I told you the other day with the Honorable President regarding our guidelines and procurement issues and various things. And we explained the President also about the framework agreement. And I mean, you are working in ministries and department will come to know familiar how much work you do regarding procurement. Even as I mentioned earlier also, to purchase a computer, everybody is busy. to award the contract or works or whatever, everybody is busy. But it's now ultimately a small thing to purchase a laptop. But how much work you do and your administrative time and cost also, especially your time, you spend unnecessarily. But that is the biggest problem in the public service. So you need various things, right? Why not? We can think of signing a framework agreement or at least purchase all the departments requirement, at least at the ministry level. Supposing the ministry has 5 departments. All 5 departments need 1 lap, 2 laptop, whatever, and prepare a summary. And why not you purchase at a bulk purchase at the ministry level and distribute? Finish, no? What do you think about that?
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
If we sign for 3 years with this framework agreement with a dynamic environment,
Okay.
anything can happen in between, sir. Maybe the supplier cannot continuously provide us the good or the work.
Yeah.
So the pre-qualification might be the very crucial steps for this framework agreement.
Yeah, there are, you are correct. Because every year, for example, construction, every year their pre-qualification is guaranteed by the CEDA Institute, right? Every year they have to register or renew or something like that. If they have any incapability and if it is highlighted, we'll have to, there are exit clause also. We'll have to terminate the contract, stop the contract, right? And if you have other multiple suppliers, then easily we can, award that to another person, right? Without following a very cumbersome, termination process and again, award the contract to another person. Yeah, that is still always there. Because if they have any incapability, then we'll have to finish the contract with that person, contractor. Yeah. But there are clauses in the agreement, not like normal agreement. The framework agreement is a different agreement, right?
Okay, sir, understood.
Provisions are there, different provisions as you if you look at that. We have not seen the framework agreement yet, no? Right. Then generally involves closer contract between customer and service. That is very important. Generally, not like the construction work, for example. If your office or ministry is constructing a huge building, it is between the ministry officials, engineer, and the contractor. Your office, other officers won't worry about that, and they have nothing to do. But not like even purchasing of computers or machines or vehicles is different. That is between the supplier and the purchasing officers or other officials. But if it is canteen, it is security, it affects to everybody in the office, right? Customers are office employees, the catering, for example. So therefore, they are very close contract. They criticize that food is bad and things like that. Therefore, we have to be very careful when we hire service providers for various services. It affects to everybody in the office. The service provided may interface with other services. That will, interconnected or interface with other services also. All right.
So excuse me, small
Yes.
disturbing. If I come to the agreement, framework agreements,
Okay.
it seems the beneficial for the government company if they are procuring the couple. Again, that means the continuous procuring the entity is doing.
Okay.
If we can come to the framework agreement, we don't no need to go for the continuous procurements. Are there any restrictions to do not to do that?
No restrictions. No restrictions. That is up to the entities, your heads of organizations and procurement officials. they have to use this framework agreement and minimize your administrative work, and without any interruption of the supply part, they can continue their government business. So that is the choice of the framework agreement is up to the officials. So we have given the path, we have given the provisions and guidelines, instruction for public officials to follow, and giving the benefits also, and encourage them to use framework agreement wherever it is applicable. Okay.
Sometimes the auditor department may questions the now price has been gone down if you have come up with the framework agreement for the 3 year.
No, don't worry about that. So if it is a government policy, everybody should comply with, right? It is the government policy, right? Once we have issued the guideline, it is a government law, right? So the risk is mitigated, risk is addressed in different clauses in the framework agreement. If the prices are going up or going down, there are some ways to, meet that. That's what I said. The framework agreement is not a normal lump sum more rate contract agreement, right? There are clauses to address that. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
So you will see very soon the type of contract. But even if you look at your internet and download, why it is not a new concept. You download and see what is the nature of the contract agreement or framework agreement, right? Then you will come to know if you are interested for the time being until you get our manual, right?
Right, sir. Right.
Okay.
Sir,
Equipment facility. Yeah.
That normally that non-consultant services are recurrent activities. For the
All are recurrent. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, if we consider the framework agreement, the
Yes.
financial provision no need to consider.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, it's a good point you raise. So we are giving a framework agreement for 3 years, for example. But within the financial year, this is within our budget, right? That is not a commitment. That's what I said at the beginning. It is not a financial commitment with the supplier or service provider and the government, because we have identified our requirement for 3 years, and we identified a service provider and entered into a contract, and within the financial year, they will provide the services within our budgetary allocation. No problem. No problem. So this is an exceptional situation where the government has taken a decision allowing the entities to enter into an agreement more than 1 year, more than beyond the financial year. It doesn't affect to the budget, because whatever you get their service is exactly within your budgetary limits. Okay?
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you.
No harm. For example, say we sign a contract with the service provider for 2025 and 26. We say these are the things our requirement that will up and down, all are subject to the variation. Everything is there in the agreement. If you want to increase, you can increase. If you want to reduce, you can reduce. There's no obligation. They can't say now you can't increase or decrease. No, that is provision is there. Supposing the whatever the service, then your budget allocation is this much. Then you issue orders, purchase orders, or whatever the letters to get the service within the financial year. You make payments within your budget. When you come to next year, you need not to sign a contract with it. That is the benefit. You continue your service work from 2026 also or 25 also, because you have already a signed agreement is there. You need not to waste your time to select contractors, evaluate contractors, preparation of bidding documents, etc., etc. That is the big benefit. Understand?
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Equipment, facilities, and materials to be supplied by the service provider and the contracting authority. Yes. Different service. Identification of any key events or activity and any approvals required before the next activity commences. That is the normal process in the service contract. Completion dates, the service provider's continuing responsibility on completion of the work. Work in the sense service work. Not construction work. What are the specifying outputs of non-consulting services? One is the completeness. The main task and any ancillary services we have to define output completeness point of view. Clarity, ensuring that terminology and the service provider's responsibility are clearly defined. Clarity should be there. Measurability, as I said, how you measure the quality of janitorial service, how you measure the quality of food. It is not easy, complex. Measurable outputs and measurement as objective as possible. Yeah, you should give some measurable outputs. As we discussed, what is the weightage of rice per a plate? What is the size of a fish or beef or whatever, right? Objectives, why the service is performed, right? Objectivity is also given. Interfaces, as we discussed, responsibilities of the service receiver and the provider. What is your job? What is the service provider's job? For example, say, as we discussed janitorial service, we say the service provider should clean X number of toilets or whatever from say 7:30 to 5:30 the time is given, and how many frequency, every hour or every 2 hours, something like that, and how we interface. Then our officer should monitor that and go and see the toilet, whether it is clean and whether they have used the specified detergents and cleaning materials, and they use proper safety measures like gloves or shoes or whatever. Various things are there. You have observed when you when the janitorial firms are working, the barns and all people, and whether they use the equipment as we have agreed upon. The various things are there. So when the service is done, and continuously you have to monitor with your monitoring people. That is the interface. Resource input. Experience, the service providers' point of view, their experience, their education sometimes, qualification and other skills, equipment of defined standards, and there are many things are there, but I have put some. Quality plans, because as I said, it is very difficult. We can ensure the quality of a computer if they comply with the specifications, if they comply with the standards, if they comply with the dimensions, if they comply with the performance aspect or whatever, various things are there. But how we ensure the quality of food? How they ensure the quality of a security service? Once they deploy people, we can see uniform people at the gate, and with arms or without arms. Is that the way you can ensure the quality, or something different? That is a problem. Should include information on how the service will be provided, how many people or various things are there. The procedures and controls the service provider will use, their controls. For example, how routinely, how frequently they change the staff of security people every 8 hours or something. Whether they have backup people or they put the same people morning and night. Then the following morning, he will be fed up. He sleepless or he sleeps. No security, right? So there are a lot of things you can think of in considering non-consulting service. The people involved in delivering the service, the quality of materials, how the contract will be monitored by the supervisor, supplier, service providers, both parties, the service provider as well as the government party. What customer satisfaction measure will be, that is very important. So you can use the customer satisfaction survey. Then based on their feedback, you can assess the quality of that service, right? We are not using that type of thing. That's what the problem in public service. We think once the security firm is recruited, our security is there. When the janitorial firm is recruited or contracted out, everything is there. But we ultimately come to know that toilets are unclean. Whenever we go to toilet, it is not clean and not up to the level at least. And we just criticizing things and we criticize to the people who choose the contractors or the officers behind that. But sometimes the same officers are doing that. Maybe you do that. But to whom to blame if you have made the mistake? Whatever it is, so you must very carefully think these points when you draft guidelines, contract and requirement, employer's requirement and things like. Soon you will see the document, then you understand more things about the how you can address these things. How problem will be resolved between the service providers, and if it is a canteen, there always a dispute, right, with the canteen people and your employees. So they, how you can resolve? How the contractor will be penalized for non-compliance? That is also a very good thing, right? The clause, as we said, vehicle. If the vehicle is breakdown, what is the clause we have given? That he should provide a backup vehicle, right? Within very short a period. Not he can't take days and weeks. Within 1 hour, he must provide another vehicle. That means he should have backup vehicles, right? So you think of that, all the things. Contractual matters. Contract strategy should define one thing, the type of contract to be used. Different types are there, lump sum, sometimes rate, sometimes performance-based, various things are there. The number of contractors to be used to provide the service. Contractors කියනට වඩා හොඳයි service providers කියන එක නේද? Service providers. Because contractors were be used for works ne? What contracting procedure will be used, right? That is our normal procedure spelled out in the guideline. For example, a procurement plan defining actions and individual responsibilities. So rather than contract procurement plan, we can say contract administration plan. So you will see another guideline from NPC soon regarding contract management. So far we didn't have any guideline or manual regarding the after the award of contract. That's the biggest problem to execute contract. There are conditions are there, but it is not very clear to general officials other than the engineers and high-level people. They can understand. But there should be some similar provisions in the contract management guideline, then people can follow how to execute the contract and how to make the payment and until the contract is over, and including defect liability and various things. So in such a situation, you'll have to develop another plan is called a contract administration plan. I'm not going to discuss right now. You will have a contract management module also. We'll see what we can do. Key staff involved. The length of the contract and options for extension, right? 1 year or 2 year, or is the provision for extension. Transfer, subletting, and subcontracting, I mean, in the contract itself, ensure that the contract cannot be transferred without the department's written agreement. That is a normal clause, right? They can't sublet or contract out to another party. Requires the contractor to have written approval from the department before subcontracting work, right? Observance of regulation. That is the point we discussed earlier. How the service provider should observe the government regulations, laws of the land, right? Requires contractor staff to comply with any departmental rule and regulations when working in government. That is the internal rules, right? Makes it the contractor's responsibility to understand what these rules are. Ignorance is not a defense, they say. And I can add department rule and regulation. Other laws of land. Because that is a general thing, even the contractor, even construction contractor, they should follow, I mean, we are spelled out in the contract safety issues and things like that. But the other thing, they also deploy their laborers, so they should pay their minimum wage that is out of the contract. We are not worrying about. That's what I'm telling. That is, they have to they have to observe the government laws, labor laws, so say environmental laws, for example, environment. We try to address all in the construction contract, and they should not dispose garbage and things like that. But there are many things the contractors should observe without giving any specific laws in the contract agreement. We give a general clause. All the loads of the land should be complied with or something like that. Contractors must understand. Okay, so he cannot say, I don't know, I am ignorant and something like that. It is not a defense, they say. They should know. I mean, even citizens, we cannot say we don't know the law, right? You all know that. Safety factor. Requires the contractor to find out and comply with all relevant laws and rules related to safety. That's right. The contractor must also ensure observance by all relevant employees and subcontractors. Special health and safety hazard. Require each part of the contractor to inform each other health or safety hazards. All are general things, general points. Property damage liability. Okay. Liability in respect of damaged government property. So then we hire outside people to our premises, say security people, or janitorial people, or catering people. Requires contract to indemnify the department against damaged government property. So that should be a clause in the agreement. They have to insure, right? If any damage, that should be indemnify, means insurance, right? They should provide an insurance. If something happened to government property, the damage will be covered from insurance. Contractor's property, on the other hand, ensure that the department has no liability for loss or damage to contractor's property other than through neglect or default of a government employee. So generally, we have a easy access. We are not worrying about their property. That is their job to protect, other than deliberately we damage our employees damage their things.
Excuse me?
Yes. Yes. Please ask. Hello. Somebody want to talk to me, but I can't hear you. If something. Hello. Okay. Can all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So one participant wanted to talk to me, but after that I couldn't hear. A lady, I think. Who wanted to talk to me? Okay. In the case of unsatisfactory performance by the contractor, service provider, service provider is a contractor anyway. The department can use another contractor to carry out the work and recover any additional cost. Okay, this is very important from the original contractor. So please speak up. Your canteen has a problem. Food is not eatable. Completely quality issue. People are agitating. They are shouting. What actions you can take? Please come. You have contracted out to a service provider to run the canteen. How you resolve that matter? No idea?
We can issue the notice to them to correct.
No, now the lunch time, right? Or 1 hour before the lunch time. So, I mean, your inspection team or monitoring team will come to know that food is not up to the quality or some big issue. So what actions? I mean, asking from public officials, you must be familiar with this type of situation and how you face and how resolve the issue. What
So
can
you can procure food from the another supplier at the risk and responsibility of the default supplier.
Yes. So you have to provide food to your office. Otherwise that will be a big issue. And you have to provide the food from other place and provide to your employees. But how can you recover that cost from the original supplier, service provider, contractor? There should be a clause in the agreement. No?
There will be a risk clause, sir.
Yeah, risk clause in such a situation, and this is the way. Otherwise, it is not possible. No, contractor say no, I can't pay. No, so that you have to be very careful when we draft this the contract and clauses, and how to face such a situation is important. Contractors organization ensures that all personnel employed by contractors have appropriate qualification and experience. That is service providers' point of view. Authorities' approval required for the changes in key personnel, right? That is also fine. They cannot change as they want. There should be some way of getting the approval from the organization. Variation of requirement. provides the authority but not the contractor with the right to vary the requirements of the contract and for prices to be negotiated to reflect any changes. So that is the clause for the employer side, not for the service provider side. And there should be a clause or authority to increase the quantity, reduce the quantity as well, and contract price also be negotiated accordingly as per the contract agreement. The tendering or bidding procedure. So this will discuss anyway using our the sample document. Invitation to bid. Earlier we used tender, now we are not using that tender. That's why I put bid. Follow the same basic structure of any contract. That is the normal. So if you are following shopping, it is okay. Even very small thing, we have to follow the request for quotations. No? Then it is okay. Otherwise, you have to follow a invitation to bid, right? Even the quotation is also in invitation, right? There's a way to get prices from service providers, even for a small value service contract. Instruction to tender, so bidders, we say, service provider, bidders kira pada mitna. Specification and contract, all are general. Don't worry, because you can look at the document, specific document. Use of restricted procedures. What is this? Advisable to use restricted or pre-qualification procedure to bring number of bidders down to a manageable. That's what the restricted word they use internationally. We are not using that. We use the pre-qualification. This is the word we use, right? So you can follow the pre-qualification also, even though it is not very complex. Normally we use pre-qualification for high-value complex projects, no? Works or goods, especially works, using a questionnaire. But internationally, we are not very familiar with pre-qualification for service contract, but it is possible. Because all the things we discussed earlier, their performance, their experience, their capacity, financial, technical, like normal, and past performance, especially past performance, all things we can consider. And why not we pre-qualify the service providers or security firms or catering people. I don't know whether it is possible catering, insurance. There are a lot of insurance companies, new companies are there. We don't know their capacity and their trustworthiness, something like that. So I think this point you can think of, right? Not essentially relevant to our discussion. So sample bidding document will come quickly before we stop for a break. Okay. If you look at the document, I will come later. Volume, it's also same as our NCB goods. Instruction to bidders, they say. I would like to, because it's a sample, sample, we can change that. Why not? We can change. Say, instruct to service providers. Conditions of contract is okay. Form of security is okay. Invitation to bid is okay. Bidding data is okay. Forms of bid and qualification information is okay. Contract data is okay. Employees requirement is okay. Activity schedule is okay. Right? So, oh, what I have written. So you also can think as a exercise for your knowledge as well as the improvement of the document. What changes to be made to the sample document, which we are going to discuss after the break, and whether all the requirements, your issues can be addressed through this sample document. What additions you can, I mean, please think, you will be in the future, if you learn this subject thoroughly, very carefully, you will get lot of opportunities, I'm telling you. Because now there's a big room for procurement professionals in this country, as well as I mentioned earlier, others outside the country. It's a huge demand. But you should know exactly the procurement. You should have the procurement expertise, right? Not to read things and write exams and things like. You have to study hard. So that's what those who are at least dedicated to that and go through this document carefully if you have time and see what amendment changes to be made with rational changes and come forward with us to discuss. I will give another task, not for this one, in our future discussion, ICB goods document, which we are going to discuss Saturday and some other day, because it's a too lengthy one. You have already seen that document. Maybe there are about nearly 200 slides. We can't finish it in one day. So you can think of that. What I said was how we can develop this our existing bidding document, especially service document is only a draft. It is at a trial edition, but we will discuss now after tea break. And will any question up to now?
So it's small clarification.
Yes.
Sir, if we are belongs to university,
Okay.
then if we are under the institute under that university,
Okay.
our board gave approval to get the contract services from, for example, cleaning and janitorial from the service provider which taken by the university, because for the institute the minimum number of workers need, for example, cleaning 6 or 8,
Okay.
security 3. But
Okay.
when I'm making service agreement, security is not problem because only we have to consider the rate. But
Okay.
the janitorial services scope of the work is different to the place to place.
Okay.
Lab is there. If
Okay.
so, then we can implement when we going to implement it to the janitorial service. Can we use the same rate, and what will be the method that we can use to adjust that their administrative cost and the chemical cost and other things, because they are not willing to offer the service for that cost of the janitor and the supervisor, no?
Okay. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
how you have agreed as a lump sum contract?
Yes, sir.
It's a lump sum contract. Then what is the problem? So you have different locations, right?
Yeah, different locations, but scope nature of the work is different, no?
Different, right? Then
Yeah.
you have to spell
Then
out in your.
previously we separately prepare the bidding document and offer the tender. This time board gave their concurrence to obtain the same service provider from the main university. But scope of the work is
Yeah, you are
different.
talking. Yeah, it's just I understand. So you have a branch university?
Yeah, we are the branch.
Right.
Yeah.
So the main university has recruited or contracted out to a service provider, and you also get the service from that person, and your service requirement different than.
Yeah.
Okay. when they assign the service provider to your university, what information you exchange with the main university? What information you gave to the university for your requirement, service requirement?
Actually, sir, we didn't provide that. They mainly they mainly select the janitorial service. Then when
Okay.
going to implement that, we face that problem. Then
Yeah.
we
So
decided
yeah,
to.
I understand. So when you discuss this document, this non-consulting service document, there's a clause say employer's requirement clause, right? Employer's requirement, then we will understand how we can at least address in the future. And when we discuss the document, again, we'll discuss how you can resolve your issue. Okay? Right? Still, we can't say because you should specify your requirement now. So
Without
then,
specifying, we can't get that rate. We have to go the separate agreement, separate bidding document and get the separate service. No, sir.
yeah,
For
yeah,
this,
yeah.
this year.
Yeah, this year you have to do your service provider separately because it is not normally possible. No, the
Yeah.
main university provide this and ask to provide your service also. It is not matching with your requirement. No, then
Yes.
what you can say is you can say what are the lapses in this contract and inform the main university. These are the things we need. This is not covered from the service provider. And please amend the contract agreement already signed and provide the quality service to us at the moment. But in the future, you can have a new agreement. Okay? Agree?
Sir, is there any method? It's said that I just asked if that previous year that we have the year contract price now for the year.
Oh,
Service
yeah.
if there is any if we select the same service provider previous and this year by the main university,
Yes.
is there any price escalation?
Yeah, you have to look at the contract.
Can we adjust this to our institute also?
I don't think price escalation formula is there for service contract.
Okay.
Right? So anyway, we look at our guideline, this contract agreement, the general conditions and contract data, whether it is possible to address the price escalation. Right? We'll line by line we can check. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Right. Now we stop for a small break. Okay. Shall we start again?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. This is the sample document we issued in July 1st, 2007 as a trial edition. It's still on the Finance Ministry website. We will consider to refine this in the future because we are also very busy with a very skeleton staff to do. And actually, we are looking for consultants. If anybody is interested, especially to develop bidding documents, please contact with me later. Anybody who has the skill. Okay, as we discussed, invitation. Read. Given below is a sample form that can be used in inviting bids for procurement of non-consultant services. All the information given may be not relevant for the particular procurement. The employer is required to select only the applicable information or modify such information to suit, because this is a general thing based on your service type and your requirements. You have to modify. All right. Insert, but name of the procure entity, you all know, the ministry, department, whatever. Title of the service contract. And number, you know that number, how you give. Earlier we discussed. The chairman, insert MPC, DPC, PPC as appropriate on behalf of the Department of X. Now invite sealed bids from eligible and qualified. අපි දාමු මේක මේක වෙනස් කරන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා, service providers කියලා. වෙනස් කරන්න බෑ. Right, so you note down. So this is a trial edition. I said at the beginning, those are not bidders, no, service provider කියලා හදමු. For insert brief description of the service. For example, janitorial service, whatever the service. A brief description of the service.
Sir, excuse me.
Yes.
PDF can be converted into the Word.
Because I don't have a PDF converter. Anyway, you can do later. At the moment, we can't do the changes, but I just say,
You can give me convert and give you.
Right? You can convert?
Yeah.
Okay, convert and send me.
Document it is not in my hands. How can I get it there? The PDF one.
But I sent, no. In the presentation and document, didn't you see that?
We didn't get it, sir.
Why? All the time I upload these documents now.
Today evening I checked and I didn't find it is.
So I talked to Naduni. Naduni, one participant said that he can't see the bidding documents. I don't know the presentation as well. I think you have uploaded, no? But why he says he can't see the document? I don't know. I don't know that. Okay, you can, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, she said that the MSc participants can upload at the moment, but she will share with you all also. But anyway, you make sure that documents are available before you come to the presentation. So you come to the lecture. Even did you see my ICB document, which I have uploaded? I gave today to upload. Naduni will do that. Did you see that
Yes, sir.
We
document?
have downloaded
We
all
already
those.
uploaded for the MSc programs
Sorry.
students.
Okay.
They can find from the LMS.
Okay. Other people
It's
can.
already uploaded, sir. Yes.
Then please discuss with the other, I don't know, your jargons and LMS or whatever, and please go to the site and upload, see that document, right? Because without the document, you can't learn. That's why I took lot of time and spent lot of time, consultancy time, and develop these documents, and especially the presentations. Please, everybody should access to the information before come to the participation, the lecture. Otherwise, what I say, you can't understand. So the main reason to upload the document is for you to study and ask questions and ask unclear areas and we have a discussion. Please, the participants, MSc participants, please share your knowledge with the other participants, how to get down the document. Okay, right? Or contact Naduni, right? So anyway, don't worry to convert right now. It is not a big issue, right? Brief description you have to give. The intended service period you have to mention here. Say from 1st January to 2000, whatever the year, right? End of the year, probably a 1 year, if it's a 1 year contract. If it is a like framework, it's a different issue. Bidding will be conducted through insert the procurement method. Generally, this is national procurement, national competitive, national competitive NCB, no, national competitive bidding. Yeah. Interested eligible bidders, all the time you can change the bidders instead of to service provider. May obtain further information from insert the name of procurement entity, department of it, insert name and email of the officer in charge. Maybe now in the future, so you have to see that also. All such things should go to the chief procurement officer. Chief procurement officer in ministries and big departments, or senior procurement officer or procurement officer accordingly, because that is a new procurement card we established under these new guidelines, right? That is a very important change. You have to consider that there is a staff dedicated for this procurement. At the moment, only the chief accountant or director, whoever does. But in the future, maybe the chief accountant or whoever, I don't know, that is up to the head of the department or secretary to the ministries to select most capable people to that position. Then there will be a new positions using the same people. I mean, existing, we are not going to recruit outside people because it is not possible. So their designation will be chief procurement officer or senior procurement officer accordingly. Those are very senior positions in ministries and departments. You get information from the manual, especially, and the guideline we have mentioned, the PMD and all. So all that thing, you have to mention the chief procurement officer, and because they are the people who facilitate all the things, including development of documents, bidding documents, etc., and especially coordination work, right? And facilitation role. Right? Insert name, email of officers in charge, and inspect the document at the address given below. You have to give the address from this ITB, from insert the office hours from normally 8:30 to 4, whatever. Footnotes are given. A complete set of bidding document may be purchased by interested bidders or service providers. Always change that on the submission of a written application to the address below. So what is where you can still this is the place the PMD in the future. State if it is properly done, there will be a permanent location, permanent office for PMD procurement management activities of a ministry or a department or a corporation, etc., etc. Or regional office also, they can have not that level, a similar arrangement at least. State address and end of this ITB. And upon payment of a non-refundable fee, so you can say what is the cost of bidding documents. That is also you have to follow the manual. In the new manual, we have given based on the value the fees for procurement document. The words we use in the future, rather than bidding documents, we say procurement document. That is also a new change. The method of payment will be insert the method of payment. Normally cash payment to shop or whatever the way, maybe bank draft, I don't know. Whatever the way you can insert. Bids must be delivered to the address below, normally at the before, insert the time and date. A late bid will be rejected. Bid will be open in the presence of the bidders, representative who choose to attend in person, online, or online at the address below. It is also given. I don't know how it's possible. I don't know whether you have to think of that. Online facilities, if it is available, it's good. Zooming, I think that is a good move. Now the digital era, right? Now the government has a high emphasis, high priority to digitalize the country's work. And I think online is okay, but you should have the facilities. At the address below, state address and end, time and date, everything there is normal way. The addressee address referred to the above, insert detail, whatever you can read that, right? Okay. Instruction to bidders or service providers, general. The employer has defined in the bidding data, invite bid for the service as described as Appendix A to the contract. The name and identification number of the contract is provided in the bidding data. If you quickly go to the bidding data as we earlier did, that is your normal understanding. The department name and things like that. Here, the employer, name of the employer. Director General, Department of what? The name and identification number, you know how to put the name and identification number of contract, as we learned the other day. Right, that's what we can say. The successful bidders will be expected to complete the performance of the service by the intended completion date provided in the, again, if you refer 1.2, whatever as we learned earlier also, if you want to write something in the data sheet, it should be highlighted in the ITB or instruction to service providers. Anyway, all bidders shall provide in section 3 forms of bid and qualification and experience information, a preliminary description of the proposed work, method and schedule, including drawings, charts, etc., etc. If stated in the bidding data, all bidders shall include the following information: list of service performed for the last 5 years, right? So that is a very important thing. They have to provide performance information about their previous stuff. Experience in service of a similar nature of each of the last 3 years they have mentioned, and detail of service under way of contractually committed, and names and address of clients who may be contracted for further information on the contractors. I mean, those information are not there in our normal bidding document, especially service, I said, past performance and various other things. Work plan and methodology, a list of major items of equipment proposed to carry out the contract. So you change according to your, and you need not to change this one, only the data sheet, based on the nature of your service type. List of major items, qualification and experience of key staff proposed for the contract. Any other listed in the right? Cost of bidding, we discussed. Will bear all costs. The bidder and site visit, this is also a new thing for this service matter. The bidder at the bidder's own responsibility and risk is encouraged to visit and examine the site of required services and its surroundings and obtain all information that may be necessary for preparation and preparing the bid and entering into a contract for the service. The cost of visiting the site shall be the bidder's cost. These are the documents we discussed earlier also. Clarification. A prospective bidder requiring any clarification of the bidding document may notify the employer in writing at employer's address indicated in the bid invitation. You all know clarification, even if you have not conducted a pre-bid meeting, a bidder can, any doubt thing can be clarified and with the officer mentioned in the future, maybe the PMD people, then they organize with the TCO procurement committee people to have pre-bid meeting and answer the questions, clarifications. Language, the bid prepared in bidder as well as all corresponding and domestic rating bid exchanged by bidder and employer written in English language. Still, we don't have a single or Tamil. Maybe we have to think of translation of this English thing to single and English Tamil also, because we don't think everybody can have the ability to work in English language. The bidder shall submit the bids under two separate sealed envelopes. This is single stage two envelope method. So that is another difference of normal workshop goods. Normal goods, generally single envelope, single stage, single envelope. This is two envelope because we have a technical things, quality things and things that we have to consider as separately. The first envelope shall be, as you know, envelope 1, qualification and experience information, and the second envelope early marked as envelope 2, financial.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Is that the always case for the non-consultancy services?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because there's a quality is paramount. No? Quality is paramount, not like normally this is a two envelope. We first look at the technical aspect, right?
Okay.
Envelope 1. And if they are technically okay, only we open their financial part, right? The envelope 1 marked as qualification and experience. This is important. See, what are the things? Shall include the originals of the following. What is bidding document, volume 1 is okay. Bid security is okay. Duly fill a schedule, qualification and experience, right? Information, other information listed in bid data, and any other information bidder may wish to, all related to excluding the securities, okay? But all are related to technical parameters, right? We have requested under qualification and experience information, right? Or any other listed in bidding data should be in the first any law. Any other information bidder wish to include also given. The envelope to mark original financial shall be include original bid, normally price bid, the price submission form and activity schedule. So we have given a format to bidder to fill the activity schedule. The two covers shall then be sealed in one envelope, outer envelope. All inner and outer envelopes shall covers shall be addressed to the employee because single stage. This single stage. Two envelopes should be in a one big envelope again, right? Not two stage, no single stage. Be addressed to the employer at the address provided in the document. Bear the name and identification number contract as defined in the data sheet. You'll have to clearly write left-hand corner the contract number. If the bidders or service providers miss that, that will go to a different place and perhaps you will not be able to involve with the service contract because that may be misplaced. That is all your responsibility. Who the service provider. Bid prices contract shall be for the service as described in the employer's requirement. This is very important. Employer's requirement, section 6, based on the price activity schedule submitted by the bidder. Price activity schedule with prices. That is called like our price schedules and BOQ like. The bidder shall fill in rates and prices for all items. So we have given facilitated to give the prices for each and every activity in the activity schedule. All items of the service described in the employer's requirement section 6 and listed in the activity schedule section 8. Items for which, please consider this, item for which no rate or price is entered by the bidder will not be paid for by the employer where executed and shall be deemed covered by the other rates and prices in the activity schedule. This is similar to our works contract. Can you remember? We have given BOQ, large number of items. If contractor or bidder has not bill or price for some works items, the technical committee will think that whether it's a major departure or something. If it is minor, definitely. Idea is bidder should do that even though he has not listed or price, and we are not going to pay. That is the point, right? So that is similar provisions we have used for service contract, similar to works contract. But it is not there in goods contract. All duties, taxes, and other levies payable by the service provider under the contract or for any other cause as of the date 28 days prior to the deadline for submission of bids shall be included in the total bid price submitted by the bidder. However, that should be included separately. So that is another important point. All the taxes, levies, or other duties should be incorporated into the price the service provider will give 28 days prior to the bid closing or bid opening. What does it mean? What does it mean? Please speak. Or I ask some other way, if the government has changed their duties or increased the duties, taxes or levies after 28 days, within 28 days, for example, right? Or after bid opening, right? What will happen? Tell me. Please.
Changes shall be paid by the procurement entity.
Exactly. So any policy changes to increase the duties, levies, or taxes by the government after these 28 days, within 28 days or after opening, that will be borne by the government. It is not the risk of the contractor to pay. So you have to understand that, right? Currency of bid. The lump sum price shall be quoted by the bidder shall be in the Sri Lankan rupees. This is always lump sum, not trade contract or performance-based contract or whatever we discussed earlier. Bid shall remain valid for the period specified. That is the normal condition. The exceptional circumstances, the employer may request that the bidders extend the period of validity. It is also a normal condition. Specifying the additional period, the request and the bidder's response shall be made in writing. A bidder may refuse the request. Yes, it is also okay, without forfeiting the bid security if submitted. A bidder agreeing to the request will not required to be or permitted to otherwise modify the bid. You all know the same thing in works and goods contract, but will require the extend validity of the bid security if submitted for the period of the extension and in compliance with clause 12. Okay, that is a normal thing. So bidder's responsibility or bidder's is up to the bidder. Bidder, if we need the extension, bidder can extend or not. It is up to him, but we can't punish him as we discussed earlier. But if he extend, as we know, he can't change the substance of the contract, price or anything, right? And similarly, if we extend the bid, we have to extend the bid security also if we have bid security. As indicated in the bid data, bidding shall furnish part of the bid security in amount specified in the bidding data and valid till, okay, that is a normal thing. Bid security is requested under subclause, whatever above any bid not accompanied, that is also, you know, that reject, sir. Major departure, major deviation. A bid security of unsuccessful bidders will be returned within 28 days. That is also keep in your mind. I have mentioned earlier also, unsuccessful bidders return within 28 days of the end of the bid validity period.
So excuse me.
Yes.
Yeah, I have question with regarding bid security.
Yes.
Under the shopping method, Sir has the pointed out.
Yeah.
Instead of the bid security, you are better to have the bid securing declarations.
Bid securing declaration, yes.
Yeah, along with the bid securing declaration,
yes,
the bidder no need to submit the financial amount, that means money, monetary amount.
No money involved. No money involved. Only the declaration form he has to fill, and he himself give. If I, not complying with requirement, I myself understand that I will be blacklisted or something like that. That is the punishment he will get. It is there even in 2006 guideline with securing declaration. The World Bank and other donor agencies strictly following even for high-level procurements, right? Because the problem our country or we have is we have no proper database of that, right? So one person is not complying with this and give the bid securing declaration and submit a bid to another organization. We don't have an integrated data system. That's what we are not encouraging at the beginning to get the bid securing declaration. But it is always open for the entities to have a proper database of default contractors, suppliers, and suspend them for a period. And it should not be at your level, it should be at the island-wide. Because one bidder is defaulted in your organization, he cannot submit a bid to another organization, at least for the suspended period. Since we don't have a proper database, the people are reluctant to use this provision, even though it is there since 2006. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. The bid security of the successful bidder will be discharged when the bidder has signed the agreement and furnished the required performance. That is okay. This 20 within we unsuccessful bidders return within 28 days of the end of the validity period, right? So that means we normally get 28 days plus the validity period, no? So within that period, we will release. But by the time we have, normally what we do is we sign the contract and we release the bid security for all people. That's what maybe different practices, but that is the normal way. Because if this bidder is failed, we'll have to come to a second man. If you have released the bid security, yeah.
If the procurement entity feels that will not enough to that means bid security should be valid until the signing the contract.
Okay.
Normally the procurement entity, let's say that we have been advertised 21 days. That means within 7 days, procurement entity will not be able to finish it of the procurement.
Okay.
If the procurement entity feel that will not be sufficient to evaluate the time of the bid security validity period,
yeah,
procurement entity do have right to change it is as their wishes.
Yeah, that is always there, no? So, but we get always additional 28 days beyond the validity period. For example, the NCB procurement, if you say we need 120 days, whatever the exact date, 120 days, 3 months, yeah, 3 months or 4 months. Yeah, 4 months, no? So 4 months plus another 28 days. Bid validity is, for example, until say October 20th, bid security is plus 28. That means November 28th. That is the normal way. So within that period, the agency should be able to finalize everything and appeal or whatever finish and get the recommendation, approval, and award the contract and sign the contract. If the evaluation or whatever the delay only, we'll have to extend the bid validity and bid security validity. So that is not a good practice, because as I mentioned little while ago, bidder can refuse that. No, Mr. Bidder, I can't extend. Then you can't punish him. And you will have to go to another bidder, second bidder, and he's a high value bidder. So you are losing money. That means everything is within your time plan. You have to finish your thing and award the contract within the original validity period, rather than making request to extend. But still we have the right to extend, but bidder has the right to refuse. Understand?
Yes, sir, yes.
Yeah. Okay. The bid security may be forfeited. You know all the points. We need not to repeat it again. Normal thing. Bidder should sign the contract and furnish the required performance security. Otherwise, we will forfeit even the selected bidder. Right? Format and signing of the bid. The bidder shall prepare one original of the document comprising the bid as described in clause 8. Instruction to bidder. Bidder shall prepare original of the document. Yeah. Original of the bid shall be typed or written in indelible ink and shall be signed by a person or persons duly authorized to sign on behalf. That is also normal thing. The bid shall contain no alterations or additions except those to comply with instructions issued by employer or as necessary to correct errors made by bidder, in which correction shall be initiated by the person upon signing of the bid, right? That is alterations. Submission of bid. The outer envelope in clause say address to the employer, you know that. Bear the name and identification number, you know that. Provide a warning not to open before specified time and date for bid opening as defined in the bid data, sealing and marking. So you also put a warning, don't open until this time and date. In addition to the identification required, the envelope shall indicate the name and address of the bidder to enable the bidder to be returned unopened, right? In addition to department address, your address also there. If the envelope, because in case you are not technically okay, your price proposal will be returned. But technical proposal is already open. If the envelope is not sealed and marked as above, the employer will assume no responsibility for the misplacement or premature opening of the bid. That is what all the risk is up to the bidder if it is not sealed. That's why I said those are minor matters, minor omissions. Those can be ignored. There is no value. Just ignore at the examination stage. Deadline for submission of bid is normal thing. Yeah, that's the point you asked. Employer may extend the deadline for submission of bid by issuing an amendment, in which case all rights and obligations of the parties previously subject to the original deadline will then be subject to the new deadline. That is the submission, not the later one, completion one. The submission is also can extend. In such a situation, you will have to publish a paper advertisement again. Because the new bidders also can submit bids under that situation. Any bid received by the employer after the deadline prescribed clause will be returned unopened to the bidders. Late bids. Opening and evaluation. The employer will open the envelope marked 1 qualification in the presence of bidder, designated representative, and choose to attend at the time, date we have already informed in the data sheet, location. The bidder representative who are present shall confirm their attendance. You know that there's a register. They should sign and they must present their ID card. Otherwise, they are not allowed to come and sit. Only the bidders can come, not the media people or the other people. But auditor can come as an observer. The bidders names the presence or absence of bid security. So you know that. I mean, all the information we read out. I mean, I have given the assignment also. In the assignment, you have already done and submitted to me. And you know what information we read out at the bid opening. The envelope mark 2, financial bid will be opened after completing the evaluation of envelope 1, quality, in the manner described in subclause 21.2. Clarification. That is also same. Any clarification to assist in examination, evaluation, and comparison of bid, the employer may, at the employer's discretion, request any bidders the clarification of the bidder's bid, including breakdowns or the prices in the activity schedule and other information that the employer may require. The request for the clarification and the response shall be in writing, but no change in the price of. That is also from our part. So after opening, we need some clarifications. So, but bidder can't give any, or clarification should be in writing. Bidder can't change the substance or price. So, offered or permitted except as required to confirm the correctness of arithmetic errors. Yes. Prior to the detailed evaluation of bid using the information provided in envelope 1, the employer will determine whether each bid, number 1, A, security is there, and B, substantially responsive to the requirement of the bidding document. That is the difficult part, substantial responsiveness. Substantial responsive bid is one which conform to all terms and conditions and employer's requirement. Very important employer's requirement of the document without material deviation or major deviation or reservation. A material deviation or reservation is one, which affect any substantial way the scope, quality, or performance of the services. B, which limit in any substantial way inconsistent with the bidding document, employer's rights or the bidder's obligation under the contract. So in such a situation, we reject that. C, whose rectification would affect unfairly the competitive position of other bidders presenting substantial response to bid, because anything he has put the unfairly affect the competition. Whatever it is, you know very well how we can reject bids, what are the grounds under step 1, step 2, things like that. Commercial and technical everything. If a bid is not substantial response, it will be rejected by the employer and may not substantially be made responsive by correction or withdrawal of the non-compliant. That will never happen. If it is not responsive at the thing, finish. No correction and make it responsive. Evaluation, with this part is very important. The employer will evaluate and compare only the bids determined to be substantially responsive. A two-stage procedure will be adopted in detailed evaluation. That is not two-stage. Now we have first opening, second examination, third detail, then fourth post-qualification. There are many stages in new guideline, right? Therefore, don't worry. Then we have to amend this. We have to amend this bidding document also accordingly. The evaluation, qualification, and experience will be completed prior to any financial bid being opened, right? That you know. The employer evaluation, the envelopment qualification on the basis of the responsiveness of the employer's requirement. Applying the evaluation criteria and point system. That is a very important thing in this thing. This document, we have given a sample point system, how we can give points based on the different service types, right? We'll discuss later soon by the clause 23. So during the evaluation, one, the qualification and experience of the employer will determine whether the bidders are qualified and whether work plan and methodology are substantially responsive to the requirements set forth in the document. In order to reach such a determination, the employer will examine the information supplied by the bidder and other requirement in bidding document, taking into account the factors and point systems outlined in the, that's what I said you, this is the quality-based one. So we have various quality dimensions, parameters, experience, so various things. So we can give marks like our normal quality aspect, we have point system, even our works contract or goods contract, if we think quality is paramount, we can allocate marks 10 to 20, I said earlier. Similarly, we can give, sometimes we'll see marks for quality, and we should give a formula like the rated the formulas I have given you in the life cycle costing, you can remember, and two-stage and two-envelope methods also we have given, how we can calculate the different marks and give a weightage to that marks and the different prices and how the different marks for prices also, and ultimately how we get the combined marks, right? I mean, we have learned earlier also that can be applied to service contract here by the bidders, other requirement. Okay. Each substantial response bid will be given a score as described under this thing, and bid shall be rejected at this stage. It does not respond to important aspect of employee's requirement, or if failed to achieve a overall minimum. So we have specified generally 70 marks. Yeah, overall, no? Substantial response bid will be given a score described under a bid shall be rejected stage if does not respond to important aspect of, that is quality marks. Only 70 point we can give out of 100. 100 means if you give 80, 70% of 80, that means 56 marks. No, that is something like that. 70 out of 100, but if you allocate quality marks, 20 out of 20, we have to calculate. That's the way. Point together with the minimum given against each criteria. So overall, 70, whatever the quality marks we have given, you should get 70 out of that, right? After evaluation of employee, envelope 1 is completed, the employer shall notify the bidders. We will notify Mr. Bidder, your technical bid is okay, or your technical basis failed. Whose qualification experience did not meet the minimum qualification mark or were considered non-responsive to the employer's requirement, indicating that they are employed mark 2 finance bid will be returned and opened after completing the selection process. This is you must note down, not at the end of the evaluation process, but complete in the evaluation process. The employer shall simultaneously notify the bidders that have secured the minimum qualifying marks, indicating the date and time set for opening of the envelope mark 2 financial bid. The notification may be sent to the registered letter or email. Now, email is, I don't know, that is also used in addition to registered post because it's quick. The envelope 2 shall be opened publicly and present the bidders, the name and bidder, what we say, the name of the bidder, the bid price, together with any discounts offered, shall be read aloud, and recorded when the envelope mark, okay, that you know. Before evaluation, the financial bid, the employer will determine whether bid is signed properly. If the bid is not signed properly, it will be rejected. I mean, that even though it is here, that can be considered under technical evaluation, no? Our normal way, if bid is not signed at the examination stage, we reject, no? I think that should do same way, right? Not at the end. Can you remember? So we have points, no? Whether security is there, bid form is signed by the authorized party, blah, 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 legally valid, and all points are there, no? So that we can consider at the very beginning in the technical evaluation. In evaluation, the financial bid, the employer will determine for each bid the evaluated price by adjusting the bid price as follows. Okay. Price is something, adjustments, excluding provisional sums or provisions, if any. If you have given provisional sums similar to works contract for service also, we'll have to should not consider provisional sums. Employer will determine for each bid the evaluation bid price by adjusting the bid price as follows, excluding, yes, separate. Correct in the arithmetic errors, you know that. Making an appropriate adjustment on sound, technical, and financial grounds for any other quantifiable acceptable variation similar to our normal works goods. If we have identified some commercial and technical departures, minor, and I always said, if there is a value, financial value, you should load. Otherwise, you are comparing apples and oranges. You have to compare apples with apples. In such a situation, you should be able to adjust the bid price by adding additional money, additional price to the bidder who has deviated minor deviations or alternative offers. Alternative offers don't mix up, making an appropriate adjustment to sound deviations. Don't consider alternative offers as simple way. I know you all know we should not consider alternative offers unless we have considered alternative offers are invited, and alternative offers are considered at the very end for the lowest bidders. We'll see whether it's okay and price is less, right? Alternative offers, that is the way we must consider. Always the principle is there. Applying discounts, by the bidder, if it is applicable discount, you know that also in the principle we have explained earlier. The employer reserves the right to accept or reject any variation, deviation, alteration, alternative offers, variation, deviation, alternative offers, and other factors that are in excess of the requirement of the bidding document shall not be taken, right? Okay. Correction of errors. Okay, that is also, I think, nothing much. Yeah. Okay. If there is a discrepancy between, that's our arithmetic errors principle, you know that? Right. The amount stated in the bid will be adjusted by the employer in accordance with the above procedure for the correction of errors, and with the concurrence of the bidder shall be considered as binding upon the bidder. If the bidder does not accept the corrected amount, the bid will be rejected. That is also normal thing. Bidder should agree to arithmetic errors. Award criteria. Subject to clause 24, employer will award the contract to the bidder whose bid has been determined the substantially responsive, right? Lowest bid, right? Notwithstanding clause 20, the employer reserves the right to accept or reject any bid and to cancel the bidding process and reject all bids at any time. That is also normal conditions. Bidder can't ask any compensation or go to any courts or whatever, because that is there. Provision is there. Notification and signing of contract is also what we do. We send letter of acceptance, right? Once it is everything finalized, whose bid has been accepted will be notified in writing about the employers prior to expiration of the bid, validity period. This has the condition of the contract called the letter of acceptance. So not the purchase order, because purchase order is we use for normal, very straightforward purchases. Letter of award or letter of acceptance, whatever the word, I don't know, but the general thing is letter of acceptance. Will state the sum that the employer will pay the service provider in consideration of the service provided by the service provider. Prescribed by the contract in after and in the contract called the contract price. The notification of award will constitute the formation of the contract. Yeah, that is part of the contract. The contract in the form provided in the bidding document will incorporate all agreement between the employer and the that we give as part of the document, contract agreement also. The requested in bidding data, performance security case, advance payment, we can pay advance payment 20%, contract subject to service provider submitting a guarantee, advance guarantee. Okay, those are the conditions given in the standard bidding document for non-consultancy. Now we can just see intended completion date, everything we have to fill up, right? The information required from bidders subclause categories, list from A, B, C, D, E, F relevant, or list any addition to the list of subclause, right? All things are given in general condition, instruction to bidders. The address for submission, everything, you know, period validity, you know, amount of security, you know, valid date, you know, employee's address, you know, identification of bid envelope should be indicate the number, contract number, you know, the deadline for submission, you know that, inside the time, date, everything you are familiar. Bid will be open, you know that. This one, criteria for evaluation of qualification and experience. Footnote 2 has given. Select as appropriate for the proposed service with reference to point system. Earlier we mentioned, provided as an appendix to the bidding data. So we must, we have given in the document some points. Say experience in similar assignments, A1 to A2. A1 is what? A1. The determination will take into account the bidder's involvement in the similar assignment in the recent past. Right? So marks we will give in a separate sheet, minimum and maximum. Work plan and methodology also same. Key staff, equipment, client reference, I mean previous client's reference, financial capability, any other, whatever. 100% out of 100, bidder should get out of 100, 70. But don't think we give 100. So don't forget, this is the lowest cost method, this is not consultancy. Consultancy service, we give 80 marks, 70 marks for the quality, because the quality is paramount, right? Here, our normal good specs, according to our present guidelines, we allocate, even new guidelines, we allocate 10 to 20 marks. High points are given to price. But within this 20, we have identified different criteria, right? This is 10 equal to 20 marks, for example. Right? At the moment, we'll see anything we have written down the line. Experience, work plan, key staff, and equipment, whatever we have given. Financial capacity, yeah. All financial aspects, including the annual turnover and other financial, will be evaluated. The performance security acceptable to the employer is also a normal thing. Here, this is the schedule I said, suggested point system. Right? A1, A2, B1, B2 is like this. Janitorial service, we give A1, 40 to 60. If you look at what is A1 here, experience and similar side. Okay. Right. Catering, 50 to 70. Experience and similar side. If you go to B, what is B? Work plan and methodology. We can give 20 to 30 marks for janitorial. Catering, 10 to 20. Say this one. Testing. We have given more marks for testing and less marks for this one. A1. Right? Anyway, that we have to, altogether must be 100 now. So, say minimum required for all things, we suggest A1, 60. B1 50, C1 60, D1 75, E1 20 to 30, F1 F suggested 75 out of 75 out of G is not correct, right? Anything, this is a general guideline you can think of based on the type of contract, what is the maximum points you can allocate, and what is the overall minimum points should be taken by the service provider, right? You see that's different. This 50, this 60, 75, this also 75. Right? Some guidance is given. Form of bid is not a big thing, you know that. Qualification information. The information to be filled by the bidders in following pages will be used for the purpose of bid evaluation. Experience in similar assignment. A, Schedule A. Period, employer, description of works. That means service work. Amount, contractor's responsibility. Percentage, 100% or part. So that we have requested. A, category A, experience in similar work. Experience in similar work. See? A, type A, these are the parameters or information we requested. Then based on that only we allocate marks. Enclosed in envelope 1, right? B category PCQ, if requested, it will be enclosed in envelope mark 1, but it is should respond to all the requirement given in the employer's requirement. Work plan and methodology. We have given the work plan and bidder should comply to all. C, key staff. Here, how we give marks for key staff? C type. Key staff C1, C2. But in the janitorial, we have not considered much key staff. We don't want their staff. But security, we have given. Catering, not much. Transport, not much. But security, yes. Staff should be there. Data collection, yes. Testing, yes. Work shop facilities, yes. Data collection, key staff, we have given much emphasis. Those are given some rational thinking, how we can evaluate their technical proposal, considering the nature of the service. Say laundry service. Laundry service, we have not given any marks for this one, but experience has given maximum and other points, right? Tailoring also. Travel agent staff is important, right? And experience is also given some emphasis. Yeah, see this some indication by considering the relative importance of the service and criteria. I mean, these are not hard and fast rule, but you can deviate a little bit. But it's a guidance, right? Otherwise, we don't know how to evaluate their technical aspect of service contract, right? Forms, bid, qualification information, letter of acceptance, and there is also due to this is a letter of form of bid. Qualification information 6. Notes the qualification. Schedule A, experience. We discussed that. C, key staff. D, equipment. enclosed type, and we must specify capacity and number. We have to specify. You see the equipment case, how we can think of that different, that is D, no? Yeah, D, eh? Yes, D, schedule D. So we'll see here, equipment, D1, D2. We'll see D1, janitorial 0 to 10. But little equipment is there, no? Some equipments are there. Catering also not much, but generally they should have some, utensils or machines, whatever. Transport, yes, equipment they should have, right? Security little, testing little, but laundry they should have machines, laundry, washing machines. Tailoring, yes, some, because they should have machine, sewing machines or whatever. Yeah, now you got some idea, no? Schedule D. Schedule E, client reference. All the previously completed design. Attach the certificates given by the client, making represents on the service executed by. So that means bidder can't say I have done this, and bidder supported by the client's certificate. This company has completed our janitorial service in 2015 or whatever, 20, something like that, right? So client reference also given some weightage in the mark sheet. Say F. All we have janitorial, we have not given mark, suggested 75 mark of G1. I don't know where is G. I can't understand it. So anyway, points are not given here. Only this point here. Insurance, client, what is this last point? Financial, no. Client reference, no? We were talking E1. Client reference. Yes, client reference. We can right, yes. E we have given, yes. Various marks on client reference. So janitorial, catering, what is the most important? Only we have given maximum 20. That is for security. Right? Okay. So finally, F is given for financial aspect. F, annual turnover. Year turnover. Right. So what we say is we generally put a percentage as 75, such as 75. Right. Okay. Each category we have given a minimum suggested thing. The highest we have given D and F. D and F. Right. Okay. Finally, letter of acceptance. Once we have selected, notes on standard form and letter of acceptance. The letter of acceptance will be basis for the information to the contract to Mr. whoever. this to notify that you bid, dated, whatever, in contract number, whatever, for the contract price, about the price as corrected and modified in accordance with after arithmetic errors accepted by us. You are hereby instructed to proceed with the execution of the said contract for the provisions of services in accordance with the contract. Okay, right. Then once the letter gone, he should come and sign the contract by keeping performance security. So all are binding. Here now, therefore, the parties there to the following document attached here shall be deemed to be form an integral part of this contract. So this is the priority ranking. Contract conditions, number 1, contract data, contract form of bid, price activity, employees requirement is part and parcel of this contract. Right? So we sign and give. This is general conditions. We'll see any price fluctuations as one person asked is applicable law. Contract shall be interpreted in accordance with the laws of the Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka. Or generally some government say laws of the land. We say put our country name. Language, notices, location, authorized representative, effectiveness contract, date, starting date, intended completion date, force majeure, definition. The purpose of this clause, force majeure means an event which is beyond the responsible control of the party and which makes the party's performance of, that is a normal thing, no, force majeure. No breach of contract. That is also the extension of time, payments during the period of their inability to perform the service as a result of an extension event of force majeure. The service provider shall be entitled to continue, but that is also payment. Termination by the employer, by the service provider, payment upon termination, general obligation by the service provider. Service provider shall perform the service. Okay. Confidentiality. Service providers action requiring employees prior approval. Some points are there. Liquidated damage, payment liquidated damage, delay charges, correction for overpayment, performance security, described of personnel, removal and replacement of personnel, assistance and exemption, changes in the applicable law as we discussed earlier. If after the date of this contract, there is any change in the applicable law with respect to taxes, duties, with increase or decrease, the cost of the service rendered by the service provider, then the remuneration and reimbursable expenses otherwise payable to the service provider under this contract shall be increased or decreased according to the agreement between the parties, and corresponding adjustment shall be made to the amount referred to. Right, that is the thing we have discussed earlier also. Services and facilities, payment to service provider, lump sum. Again, the service provider remuneration shall not exceed the contract price and shall be fixed lump sum, including all subcontractors' cost and all other costs incurred by the service provider in carrying out the service described, except as provided in clause 5.2. Okay, we'll see. This is the point I am searching for. Except as provided in clause 5.2, the contract price may only be increased above the amount stated in clause 6.2. The contract price set forth in the contract here will be changed. We'll see what is 5.2. Change in the law. Yeah, that is the only option. As one person asked, there is no price escalation. Understood? no provision in this, like our works contract. Payment for additional service. For the purpose of determining the remuneration due to the additional services as may be agreed under 2.4, a breakdown of the lump sum price is provided in Appendix D. Payment for additional services and performance incentive compensation. What is 2.4? 4A. In the maybe data sheet is well 2.8. Under close to it. Okay, we'll see. Wait there. Quality control. Identifying defect. The employer shall check the service provider's performance and notify him of defects that are found. Such checking shall not affect the service provider's responsibility. Right? Corrections of defects. The employer shall give a notice to the service provider if any defect before the end of the contract. The defect liability period shall be extended for as long as defect remains be corrected. Every time notice a defect is given, the service provider shall correct the notified defect within the length of time specified in the. If a service provider has not corrected a defect within the time specified in the notice, the employer will assess the cost of having the defect corrected. The service provider will pay this amount and a penalty of lack of performance calculated as described in clause 3. That's what we discussed. If any performance error, that can be rectified. Dispute is normal. Our litigation or this arbitration. Yeah, arbitration is there finally. Okay, contract data also in line with the gender amount of contract name, the employer's name, member in charge of the contract administrator. No, sorry, members in charge, the name of the member leading to the joint venture, the service provider name, the address, employer, service provider, the authorized representative of the employer. That is the one. So you must specify a person in charge. Was in works contract, we specify an engineer. Here we should specify a person who can look after the service contract to monitor and various administrative matters, contract administration matter. For the service provider, they also should provide some person, then we can directly contact him if any case, if you want to communicate. The date and which the contract shall be come into effect is also clear. The starting date, the intended completion date, the liquidated damage rate, delay is given normally. This thing. The amount payment shall be made, how we are going to pay. Okay, that's all I think we can discuss. Description of the services, appendix we have given, schedule of payment and reporting requirements, key personnel, we have given some additional information. Employers requirement, this is the one we mentioned earlier. Employers requirement and drawings. A set of precise and clear employees requirement is a prerequisite of bidders to respond realistically and competitively to the requirement of the employer without qualifying all conditions of their bid. In the competitive bidding, the employer requirement must be drafted to permit the widest possible competition. Sample employment requirements from previous similar assignments are useful in this, right? So when you prepare this, you have to consider previous assignments, previous contract. There is no standard set of employees requirement for universal application. So you'll have to use your experience and set out what are the requirements you should put under this section 6. The notes of the procuring preparing employees requirement are intended only as a confirmation for the employer or the person drafting the bidding document. So they should not be included in the final document. So a set of prescribed output and performance rather than inputs wherever possible. So what we expect from the contractor. Activity schedule also like these notes we should give. The objective of the activity schedule are to provide sufficient information on the quantity and nature of the services. As I mentioned, every 1 hour you must clean toilet or something like that. When a contract has been entered into, provide a price activity schedule for use in the periodic valuation or service exhibit. In order to attain the objective, so that is also very important document. Security forms, normal standard forms, performance bank guarantees for advance payment. Okay, that's all I can discuss regarding the non-consultant service. I think we got some insight about the how we can execute or obtain service contract bids and how we evaluate under two envelope method, and how we give marks for technical aspect. And but one thing is missing here. You should provide a formula for that. Otherwise, people don't know how to get the combined marks, right? I think those are some missing parts that should be completed when we issue the final draft. Because I said if there are two dimensions, price and quality, ultimately we have to give quality marks and we have to give the price marks, and we have to combine both together, and we must get the highest combined mark is the successful bidder, right? Okay, that reflect the lowest price. Lowest price man give the highest marks. Yeah, I think you know that. If you have allocated 80 marks for price, for example, if a janitorial service lump sum, one person give 3 million, one other person give higher than that. Say 4 million, 5 million, etc., etc. Those are technically okay. The person who gave 3 million get the maximum price marks. That means 80. Considering 80 is the maximum, other people get inversely, proportionally inverse marks. For example, 3 million, say for example, to calculate TC, 6 million. He get only 40 marks for price. Quality 20, say one person get maximum, the others give proportionately or lower marks. Then we add both together and see who is the highest combined marks of taker. Then we select him as the qualified person to sign the contract. And I think there is another thing is missing. Post qualification part is not included here. Can you remember? Earlier we had another stage, post qualification. Even though bidder has given information, we have to verify whether it is correct. He say I have 5 say machines for washing, say laundry service. Then we must ensure that bidder has the washing machine, his own one or his accessible rented one, whatever possible. So all things are matter. Okay, any question?
So, excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So, in technical evaluation committees for cleaning service or security service, is it
Okay.
required to appoint a person from Labor Department as a member?
No. Not at all.
Yeah. And in case if we need to get a clarification from Labor Department regarding minimum wages or something, can we do so through a letter?
Yeah, either letter or without a letter, it doesn't matter. If you clarify some minimum wage or something, even if you write a letter, is okay, always okay. But you can refer the gazette, no?
Yeah.
They have to issue a gazette. You refer the gazette and see what is the minimum wage if you want to look at, right?
Yes, and so that complex thing is there is a profit margin and the Sundays and holidays, how we can calculate those things. That's why I'm worrying about we need to get a clarification from Labor Department or not. In
What
evaluation?
for holidays and all? Why we worry about the
So
holidays?
in cleaning service, normally they have to pay some, I mean, something extra for the holidays and Sundays, no?
No. In our requirement, we say all days, say working days, no, they have to come and clean. Security, they have to work on holidays also.
Yeah.
Cleaning, I don't think they come and work without other people. So our working days, office days, they come and clean. No,
Yeah.
I don't think that you should worry about the holidays, right? So you specify in your requirement all working days. Say, for example, you have the government approved calendar, right? What are the working days? What are the Sundays and other holidays? Say out of 365, say 200 days. That is your cleaning target. In case of security, 365 days, right? Because even the office is closed, they have to have the security people, no?
Yes.
Yeah, why you worry about too much about the holidays?
So actually in our bidding document, in the price schedule, we have mentions what is the rate for that holidays and weekend.
Yeah. Regarding for what purpose? Security or what?
In the cleaning service bidding document.
The big offices like the immigration and identity card department like that, the holidays no need to have a high volume of security
Right.
officers and cleaning
If they
officers.
work, come in. Yeah, that is the case.
Like that, sir, the technical evaluation committee face the problem how they determine the workforce.
No. I mean, the office people should decide how many days they open the office, no? Say, including Saturdays, Sundays, whatever, based on that. So they put a number. These are the number of days you must provide the cleaning service, and or any amended date. If you give additional days, you have to pay additional payment, no? That's what you must cover your scope of the service. So if you know your work requirement, then they have to comply with that, suppliers. If you say 300 days or whatever, then they should come on the holidays and other days. I in your case, we cannot specify, no, at the very beginning. How can we say in next year, December 20th is a working day or not? I don't think we should do that type of calculation, but I have no idea about that. What is the practical situation? But I generally think how many working days and plus holidays you have to work. Sometimes the holiday working, the supplier should pay some additional payment to their employees. No, that may be a matter, right?
Excuse me,
Yeah.
that question asked regarding the holiday waking, it's I think related to university also, because although normal Saturday is not a working day, we ask janitorial service come and clean the outside and other especially
Okay,
outside
okay.
areas.
Okay.
Then they want to claim additional amount exceeding that normal working day. That's
Yeah,
why I
yeah.
think
That is okay. That is okay. That's why I said, say you have 200 working days plus some couple of every Saturday, Sundays. I don't know. Then they will calculate their cost of employment for working days separately and holidays separately, and they give. For that purpose, I think she's right. We must give some breakdown. How many working days? How many holidays? Yes, because the contractor has additional cost now. I mean, they can't ask the employee to come, I mean, their workers to come and work on 4 day or Sunday with for the normal salary. So they have to pay additional. Yeah, in that situation, you are correct. So you must specify holidays and all. All holidays and things you can get not from the Labor Department. That is published by the Minister of Public Administration. No? That is what you call Home Affairs, Minister of Home Affairs. Anyway, that is not a big issue. You can clarify from relevant organization and put your requirement. Then bidder will bid accordingly. No. All right. Any question?
Sir, excuse me, that hospital and elders home, like that vegetable supply, what are those elements we should consider for developing within the vegetable supply day by day, varying not prices?
Yeah, then they have to get the risk and put a price. We are not giving the varied price. So we pay, say, monthly payment or whatever. So you can ask monthly rate, or we can't get annual rate no for that. So monthly rate,
Yes,
at the end of the month, we may make the payment, right? So it is bidders or service providers' responsibility and risk to put the say beans price in June 2025, right? If the beans price goes to 1,000 rupees, I mean, if it's a force major, it's a different issue. Otherwise, I mean, a flood or something unforeseen act of God is something. No, there's a provision always. Otherwise, bidder should take the risk of price fluctuations. There's no provision in this contract for price escalation.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
You got the point, no?
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
always bidder put a additional price considering the risk. But this is a competitive, no? If he put more high price, he will not be selected. No?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, but the problem is if the price is high, for example, fish, when the fish price is very high, say he has put shea fish, he calculated 2,000 rupees or 1,500 considering the market price and future his forecast price. But if shea fish is very extremely difficult and it's 4,000 something, what he does is he say CI is not available, I will replace with something else. Those are the matters come into management issues. Then we will allow, because we can't say you must provide shea fish at any cost. If this is not available, we should give some alternative thing. But the maybe punishment, some cost adjustment, right? Understand?
Yes, sir. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So
Understand.
yeah, something
Thank you.
like that. So those are not easy. At the very beginning, the supervising or monitoring of service contract is not that easy like goods contract or sometimes works contract. Okay. I think we discussed something relating to non-consulting service. Next Saturday, we have another presentation because I will be out of the country. I said 10 days. from 13th or 14th December to 22nd, then the Christmas comes. We'll try our level best to finish it off, these matters. And I have given a presentation of a very long presentation for ICB goods. And also I incorporated the Incoterms, international commercial terms, which we use for international trade, CIF and all. And please read this presentation. And also I have given 2 standard bidding documents, World Bank latest one and previous one. My presentation is also based on World Bank document, since we don't have a ICB document. And we'll discuss on Saturday and try to finish at least half and more than that. And we'll finish the rest in the next day. So please go through the document and come back. Okay?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Thank you very much. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
night,
Good
sir.
night.
Good
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night. Naduni, are you there?